Hi everybody, thanks for coming to tune into my presentation today. My name is Daniel Olson and I did my research project on academic delayed gratification and associated factors, those external factors. Now, delayed gratification is a process of being able to wait for a more rewarding item rather than taking a more immediate item and it being less reinforcing. So imagine that there is something that you can get that is extremely rewarding to you, but you can't get it for 2 months. Or you can get something right now, immediately, but it's not as rewarding to you. So then there's that delay of gratification that is involved. Do you take that immediate option or do you take that delayed option? Now, delayed gratification is most commonly tested in children and not so much adults. We found that there's little evidence, little research done within the adults, but this can be generalized within the children, and they're more likely to trust the deliverance of the reinforcer if it had been previously associated with trusting that person delivering that reinforcer before. Now, within gratification, people may seem to be more likely to take those immediate options because we can trust that we will get those immediate options because it is right there. We can grab that. However, if we decide to go after that delayed option, we can't trust that it will be there for us once we get to that point. Now, within each person, there is a risk-reward hierarchy involved that helps them decide between these immediate and delayed options. Now, within this, they are saying, with that immediate option, I can get this now, and how rewarding is it to me? How much time do I have to spend to get it? Very little time for that immediate object. But for that delayed object, you have to spend a lot of time to get it, and you have to consider, is it truly rewarding to you? Is it more rewarding than that immediate option? Is it worth that time to wait? Now, that is something that each person goes through everyday life. Like, we can see this when we're deciding to get McDonald's on the way home rather than go home and cook a homemade meal. There's that just delay of gratification involved in what's involved in getting to that point. Now, a great example of that risk-reward hierarchy is the decision to go to college. Now, within this research, I did a survey and received a total 90 participants, which is a little bit less than what I was hoping for. Now, there are some general hypotheses involved with this. Those ones were to measure those external factors that could possibly affect a person's likelihood to go to school. That was motivation in social class. Now, the big question was the delayed gratification. How does a person's ability to delay gratification affect their likelihood of going to college? Now, what I mean by ability to delay gratification is, are they able to wait for that item, that more reinforcing thing in the future? Now, if we look at the summaries, we can see that on hypothesis 3, that we actually did not find a relationship between a person's ability to delay gratification and the likelihood that they would actually attend college. Sadly, there was little amount of participants in the studies. You can see in the discussion. One of the things I mentioned is that it's imperative that researchers include a larger number of research participants. Had I actually received just a few more participants, we may have found a significant statistical significance on that study. However, if we look at hypothesis 2, we did find that there is a relationship between a person's intrinsic motivation and the likelihood they're going to college. Now, as motivation increases, there's a much more likely chance that they would go to college. So, as mentioned before, there is actually a risk-reward hierarchy within each person that they are internally debating with themselves when it comes to attending college. This was mentioned by Skylick et al., how they take the time to think, is going to college worth it? Are these 4 years going to be detrimental to me? What's the risks involved? And what's the reward I can possibly get? Now, this is definitely something that is considered important within our society, as school can be truly a major important thing that we take part in our life. Thank you for listening to my presentation.